Also, before we get into this Hasan thing, we're going to be talking a little bit about Destiny too. And I did want to get your guys' reaction to this clip. It's not necessarily related to Ethan or Hasan, although Hasan is in this clip reacting to Destiny. And this just totally took me aback. I've defended Destiny's. I know you. I've defended Destiny, for being edgy in the past, like when he made pretty savage jokes about that Trump supporter that got shot at the Pennsylvania rally. I was even willing to defend that. This, however, let's take a look here. Talking ill of the late, great Michael Brooks here.
Trigger warning for all you lefties, all you Michael Brooks lovers.
God, can I just say, thank God Michael Brooks is dead for the Israel-Palestine shit this past year, because it would have been so insufferable listening to him on top of, rest in peace, okay, for this, okay, but oh my God, can you imagine how horrible it would be if he was part of these conversations too? He had some of the worst Israel-Palestine takes in the world. Thank God I'm not inundated with his cuck bullshit as well.
Bro, that's just because Destiny knows that he never in his life in a million years could as cogently and as humanly and as empathetically and as meticulously unpacked and explained and elucidated for his audience the simplicity and the nuance of what's going on. The simplicity in the sense that it is barbaric, indescribable suffering that is being imposed on a vulnerable, innocent people, a suffering that goes back generations, right?
I also just feel like, Destiny always acts like the far left is so unhinged and so extreme, but like Michael Brooks was none of those things. If Destiny had a conversation with someone exactly like Michael Brooks, I feel like it would go pretty well. He would have a good conversation, right?
It's projection. It's 100% projection in the sense that he knows he would have his lunch being eaten. Right now, Destiny gets to fancy himself the authority on Israel-Palestine, right? He gets to fancy himself the guy that's the ultimate debate bro. Michael Brooks would be spanking him around, and it's just disgusting. And also, fuck all of the Destiny ilk that ever pearl clutch ever again. I don't want to see any shit from you about how, oh my goodness, I can't believe you said that, or wow, this crosses a line. How dare you? I can't believe you're laughing at this. I can't believe you're making jokes about this.
But yeah, I mean, I think that Michael Brooks is definitely like one of the people that could have beaten Destiny in a debate on Israel-Palestine. Like generally what happens is like Destiny finds like the most unhinged like leftist that he can kind of like walk all over, because most people just aren't good at like talking about politics and like being aggressive and like fighting and yes, like winning a debate. But like Michael Brooks was one of those people, and that is like why specifically he's like happy he's dead, because it would have been a person he couldn't go up again.
Anyway, I do think this is really weird though, and what you're touching on is accurate, Zach, because it's like from people like Destiny, and we're about to take a look at some stuff from Ethan Klein too, the way they're talking about just normal standard lefties like Michael Brooks and Hasan Piker, you would think they're talking about like Jackson Hinkle or like deranged members of like the anti-Semitic far, like the Candace Owens left, like the Nick Fuentes people. Like if you never knew who Michael Brooks was, and if you never watched his content and you watch that clip of Destiny, you'd assume he was talking about like some white nationalist or like some totally deranged person who contributed nothing of value to the conversation and only existed to sow hatred and anti-Semitism, et cetera, et cetera. They act the same way about Hasan. They act like he's Jackson Hinkle or Candace Owens or one of these people who just latches on to the pro-Palestinian movement to spread anti-Semitism, when it's like, that's not true, bro. If you think Hasan is like the most radical guy in the room, if you think freaking Michael Brooks was the most radical far left person, like what
Michael Hussein Brooks?
Yeah. And that's the ultimate thing that really drives me crazy about this whole sphere of like, we're proud lib Democrat, Destiny affiliated acolytes, whatever. Like all these people, they're moving the Overton window on the left so far to the right that now Michael Brooks is we're glad he's dead because of what he would have been contributing to the conversation about foreign policy, when objectively he was one of the brightest and most brilliant voices on the left as far as like speaking to these issues, like and never dabbled in racism or divisiveness, bigotry. The guy was funny, genuinely a warm person. I don't understand it. Can you Can you explain this? Because it had
the eyes. Yeah, he was the whole package. He was, to quote Trump, he was a man. When he was in the showers, he would shower with the pros, and everyone would say, "Unbelievable." Yeah, I mean, listen, it's like people like Michael Brooks are like the kryptonite to people like Destiny, like little whiny little bitches like Destiny, whereas Michael Brooks is like a very chill, kind of like approachable, normal guy who like takes radical politics and doesn't make them cringe or like I don't know, for like all the presentations I see of a lot of like modern lefties now, like he had something unique and generally, like, I mean, he did get serious a lot, but he also tried to be funny a lot, which I don't
He
see
was
in a lot.
Hilarious.
I don't see a lot of
And he
lefties
did
like, trying to
impressions.
be funny. Yeah, like so.
Speaking of Bhaskar, I've never heard him. I don't think he heard it. Excuse me. I don't think he ever recorded it, but apparently he did a very famous in the DSA community impression of Bhaskar Sankara's father. And it's like you have to have a really good sense of humor to be the kind of guy that's I'm gonna bust out like my homie's father's impression. He's not from America, obviously. Like there's got to be a decent amount of trust there. You know what I mean? Like silliness.
Yeah, for sure. Michael seemed like a genuinely good guy. And I don't know, man. It bums me out because I've defended Destiny and I've defended his inclusion in the space. Like I like that he brings that aggressive energy, like kind of like I don't give a shit. Like I'm gonna say whatever. I'm a total edgelord. I don't mind that stuff, bro. But like I just feel like it should be reserved for people who deserve it a little bit more than Michael Brooks, let alone the fact that he's dead. I'm not trying to pearl clutch about like, how dare you, sir? This man has passed away. Like, I'm not trying to pearl clutch about like edgy humor, but it's like, really, I just don't understand mischaracterizing someone like Michael Brooks in such a gross way when obviously he's not here to defend himself, but it's not even a remotely accurate way to describe his contribution to the space at any point ever.
Outside of the Michael Brooks thing, he's great. Like I also like I don't have a lot of investment like in like long-term like always fighting and defending his legacy when people try to tarnish it. Like that's like whatever, people can have that fight. I will even go a little farther and say like, yeah, like I actually do think it's funny when like evil people die or people that I really disagree with die. Like I do think that's
Trump
funny.
Had been
so
assassinated.
That would be hilarious. But and like not necessarily, but there's always like degrees of it, right? Whether it's like someone who's just like a dumb person who doesn't really understand what they're doing versus like a bigger bad, and like how much it's funny to make fun of that person when they die. But like, let's say, okay, you're diametrically opposed to someone politically, like to Michael Brooks is the complete opposite in Destiny's mind, whatever, evil ideology. Fine, make fun of him, make fun that he's dead or whatever. Like, go for it. Like, follow your bliss. I'm not going to tell you should be canceled or you should have your YouTube channel taken down. Like, go be edgy, but then don't turn around and be the biggest sniveling crybaby bitch trying to cancel other motherfuckers. That's where it's like, all right, you literally can't cancel people. You're not allowed to. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's a good segue into Ethan Klein, because as soon as I saw Ethan Klein out here pearl clutching and freaking hand wringing and all of a sudden acting like the biggest SJW on the planet, could you believe Hasan laughed while someone talked about rape? like all of a sudden just turning into the biggest pearl clutcher in the entire world. Like, bro, do you not freaking think that we've all watched your entire career and seen you act edgy as shit on camera over and over and over and over and over again? Like, this is, I've seen your own co-host look at you in disgust, Ethan, as you laughed about like matters of sexual assault and stuff like that. There's been literal scandals on H3 where your co-host looked at you in fucking disgust, your female co-host, as you laughed about scandals that related to women's rights and sexual assault and stuff. I don't even remember the specifics, but I know this stuff happened. All of a sudden, he wants to turn into the biggest SJW in the fucking planet as soon as Hasan giggles about some shit. It's crazy. Do you guys want to take a look at some of this video?
I mean, do I want to see his face this close and this like without any form of ring light? No, but we're going to watch it.
Understand, this is what propaganda can accomplish in an individual. This guy has just absolutely warped his entire fucking brain. It's cooked.
Yeah, literally. It's genuinely crazy. Anyway, let's take a look, guys.
A tier list where they rate people where good is Arab and bottom is loves Sabra. Sabra is a very popular hummus brand. I know in Israel, it's pretty much in everybody's refrigerator, and it's kosher. They're an American company, but they've been the subject of the pro-Palestine boycott. I mean,
is Sabra really in everyone's cabinet? That shit is trash.
Yeah,
it's like objectively
it's
not that
government
good
mandated. You're being anti-Semitic. It's government
mandated. I'm not trying to be, but I'm sorry.
It's the worst. It's the worst hummus.
I figured that's what people in America ate. Yeah, people in the Middle East.
It's an American hummus company. It's not even made in Israel.
Why would everybody in Israel have it if it's an American hummus company? And why aren't they making their own hummus if they're in fucking Israel? Like, what the fuck?
We're airdropping it in Gaza, and they're throwing it back. It's that bad. But like, Sabra also has a deeper meaning of like, it has something to do with like, it's like a phrase. I think it means like to be Jewish in Israel or something, or to live in Israel, I believe. There's like a deeper meaning that the hummus is using that phraseology based on too. But yeah,
it sounds like a car.
A Jewish person born in Israel or before 1948 in Palestine is Sabra.
Before 1948.
Yeah, that makes almost no sense.
Well, it's before 1948. Everybody called Israel Palestine, guys. So if you were born there before 1948, you were born in Palestine. That's
fact check. They actually called it Wakanda.
All right, guys, let's finish this before we go too far off the rails. We might find some more footage of this video too, because Ethan was melting down.
And it's kind of just Arab good, Jew bad. I mean, I'm having a hard time seeing this any other way. Let's just look at this optically. Imagine this flipped. Super Jew and colonizer on the bottom, right? And I go,
what?
Frogan. We know where she goes. She goes to the bottom.
I feel like we need to watch like the actual video or something. This is like too edited.
Yeah, no, we can watch more. Yeah, but wait, I'm confused with his metaphor here. His columns would be Super Jew and then colonizer at the bottom. The colonizer like isn't like an identity.
The colonizer can't be applied to a Palestinian as they're under intense persecution.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if it's like if they're trying to turn it into an identity.
Yeah.
Let's just watch this at least
video.
the first like couple minutes of this, because I don't want to present like a edited
Let's go.
version.
Let's
This is an honest podcast. I don't want to present some hatchet job here.
Yeah, wow, fake news. This guy.
Sorry if an ad pops up. We still haven't paid for YouTube Premium because we're freaking cheap
No.
degenerates. But
Damn, that's crazy. I will pay for your YouTube Premium. That's crazy.
feel free, bro. Feel free. You can pay for my morning coffee tomorrow too. I would love that. But
Yeah, no.
I feel like I draw the line at this YouTube Premium. But anyway, let's take a look. Twitch has a major problem. Let's find out about why. And it's crazy that he can't just criticize Hasan. He has to insinuate that like Twitch needs to do something about it.
There's
like,
a growing anti-Semitism problem on
like,
Twitch, Gavin.
It's crazy.
Don't whitewash it with
It's
your
crazy.
privilege.
I don't even care if you disagree with Hasan, but don't advocate. I would never advocate for Ethan's censorship.
Right. And let's take this in context on the timeline right now. Like the reason all this stuff is happening right now is because there's no more debates about what's going on here. There's a Holocaust happening in Gaza. They're lining up men, women, and children and peeling off men and executing them in holes. Like we're seeing this happen every day. And what these people are choosing to do in this moment is so bitch made. It's to distract from any of that because they can't actually talk about any of the facts about what's happening anymore. So instead, all you can do is try to fucking curtail your little streamers, what your favorite streamer is doing during the fucking Holocaust.
As he shows off random parts of his stupid fucking mansion. Like, oh, look, I have a live-in gym in the basement of my fucking estate. I'm so persecuted.
Exactly. This is some zone of interest kind of vibes for real. Anyway, let's take a look.
That's deeply insensitive. Ethan's gonna sue you now.
All right,
That's also anti-Semitic. Oh God,
Oh,
what are we
shit,
gonna
yeah,
do?
What the hell? What are you?
Oh
implying?
God! Oh my God! I guess I have to kill myself.
Zach is getting kicked off of
I'll
the stream.
redact myself.
This is finally our chance, Griffin, to seize control.
Yeah, that's right. I'm calling APAC
stop,
in.
Gavin. Oh, that hurts.
the
My eyes.
APAC Zoom.
Anyway. All right, let's go, guys. Twitch has a major problem.
Hello, everybody. It's Ethan Klein from my basement. Beautiful Friday evening. My kids just went to sleep. and I open Reddit to browse my community.
Oh, how
who I
nice that
love
your
so
kids
well.
get to
To
sleep.
dying children.
Yeah, how nice that your kids get to sleep. Jesus Christ.
At the top of the subreddit is this very lovely clip entitled "Just a Casual Panel Provided by Twitch at their con, broadcasted on their official channel." What is it? Well, it's a panel hosted by Frogan and 4 of her friends, in which they have a tier list where they rate people where good is Arab and bottom is loves Sabra. Sabra is a very popular hummus brand. I know in Israel, it's pretty much in
where'd
everybody's
Griffin go?
refrigerator, and it's kosher.
Griffin,
Where'd you go?
Griffin.
He got scared. He got scared. He couldn't handle the.
Did you grab me a Canada Dry?
Wow, you're missing out on some good stuff. Gavin got insecure without
No,
you.
I go to sleep watching Ethan Klein. I own listen, this all this stuff hurt me the most because I'm the #1 Teddy Fresh wearer. That's right.
Oh.
Ela's fucking hideous clothing company. This hit
I was
home
just
for
telling
me.
I was just telling Gavin we're gonna have our own version of that, but I'm going to perfect the way to filter marijuana smoke, so it doesn't get any resin in your lungs, and then that's what we're gonna sell to our degenerate audience. You know, at least we'll be making the world a better place. Anyway, let's continue on.
Sure. They're an American company, but they've been the subject of the pro-Palestine boycott. I mean, it's kind of just Arab good, Jew bad. Wow. I'm having a hard time
Fucking
seeing
crazy.
this any other way.
Also, to be fair, is this even like what's the Griffin? Do you know the story behind this? Why was there a graph like that on stage with Sabra and Arab and
All
stuff?
right, now listen, here's the thing. There is a Muslim streamer named Frogan. I do still play
Ethan's
a lot
been
of
beefing with her for like a year, by the way.
right. They've been going like back and forth or whatever. Yeah, he's been trying to like deplatform her for a while. Listen, like I think this is like a fun, like spicy humor graph. Basically, love Sabra probably just means loves like Israel, which like you probably shouldn't love Israel right now. You know, it's a spicy thing. It did happen.
If somebody said loves Germany in 1949, you would not give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Loves Frankfurters.
Sauerkraut eating son of a bitch.
Well, in 1949, we did love
Sorry
Germany.
about your ancestry, Gavin.
In 1949, we loved all of their scientists a lot. But yeah, I mean, this I think this is pretty spicy humor. And I think like one thing I will say with all this, like, I'm shocked that things aren't a lot worse right now in terms of like the rhetoric. Like, I think all things considered, you've been like killing like 100 people on everyone's like cell phones like every day, and like people's brains are gonna break from that. People are gonna start to get like more aggressive and saying like meaner and nastier things. Welcome to the worst horrible thing happening. That's what happens. Like
Thank
people
you,
have been
woke
saying this
mind
for a year.
virus. Otherwise, we'd be hearing a lot more a lot more haymakers coming from all kinds of, we've talked about anti-Semitism is real, right? We don't want to retweet the Jackson Hinkles and the Jacob Shields, right? But on the other hand, you might expect it to be a little worse given the fucking.
I mean, I honestly think it's the only reason why Israel's getting why they don't get more pushback, unfortunately, is because people don't want to get called anti-Semitic. I really think a lot of people just get tricked into thinking everything Israel does is moral because they're the only Jewish country in the Middle East, and they're the only Jewish state in the world, and therefore blah, 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 blah. It's like so many people are intellectually lazy, bro. But let's watch some more of this because I do want to hear the rest of his Sabra rant or whatever.
The pro-Palestine boycott. I mean, it's kind of just Arab good, Jew bad. I mean, I'm having a hard time seeing this any other way. And what's crazy is
Trying to figure it out.
I've been suspecting that Twitch has an anti-Semitism problem. Obviously, it started with Hasan platforming Houthi terrorists and showing unfettered terrorist propaganda on his channel. But now they've unbanned
You've
Sneeko.
never heard of
Down with
Call
the
of Duty.
Yahoo! Down with the Yahoo!
And they've just unbanned Fresh and Fit this week. These are two of the most prolific Jew-hating creators on the entire internet. And these are the two they've targeted to bring.
And again, it's like I condemn that. I totally think that's disgusting, the fresh and fit people and stuff. But like you could accurately say that Destiny spreads Islamophobic hate on a daily basis, that he does similar kind of stuff, and that people routinely engage in anti-Arab and anti-Muslim speech on the platform, on YouTube and Twitch. And to be honest, I don't think those people should be banned either, guys. I actually am a legitimate free speech absolutist. I don't think that anyone should get banned for saying controversial shit, even if it is racist. You know what I'm saying? So no, I actually don't think that Destiny should get banned, or Asmongold should get banned. And I also don't think that freaking Hasan or any of these people should get banned on the other side either. Is it that hard to just be consistent about this?
Well, it's also hilarious too, because just the other day, Destiny's retweeting shit about how, you know, Arabs have a inferior culture and all of this shit, which is blatantly like, if he'd said that about Jewish people, Ethan would be having an insane meltdown, right? Like, there's no way to argue otherwise. Like, you could just go to his Twitter page and see fucking insane. It's right there.
And it's like, I mean, I get it, I hear you, but it's like, I honestly don't think Destiny should be banned. And I think Destiny's racist, but you really think that everyone with Destiny's ideology should be banned from Twitch, banned from YouTube? That's crazy. I mean, that's like so much of the population, unfortunately, but you don't stop bad ideas just by banning everyone who espouses them. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the same way that I don't think that, I think it's crazy for people to advocate Twitch banning Hasan, I also do think it's crazy for people to advocate Twitch banning Destiny. On both sides, I think this is the most bitch fucking behavior. I hate it when people start trying to get each other censored, get each other, you know, call the fucking manager from Twitch to come in and help them. I hate that kind of shit. And I hate the fact that Ethan Klein is, you know, contributing to the sowing of this atmosphere. Let's take a look also over here before we watch the rest of this.
What I want to say to that is, regardless of where you fall on that, I am very partial to Gavin's point of view. But regardless if you fall on like people should be banned for being racist online, or people shouldn't be because maybe it doesn't help. Regardless, the people sending this message, people like Destiny, have no business or right to be having that take. That's like my feeling on it. It's like, you are not the messenger, my man. Like, you like make fun of people's disabilities.
Yes.
You got banned off Twitch for calling trans people like subhuman. You told rioters and protesters should all be run over with cars. Like, my man, like, you just can't have it both ways. So just pick a lane.
Yeah, that's the exact.
Enough circle jerk. Yes, he's watching. Look at the post. Click the left post right here.
Oh yeah. So let's you're right. We got a shout out. We got a shout out in the Destiny subreddit. This is absolute insanity, guys. This is not some random post. It's one that went viral on Destiny subreddit. It was like one of the top posts. So this guy says, I think it is morally okay to target Hasan's sponsors and advertisers on Twitch. Enough circle jerk threads about how bad Hasan is. Let's affect political change by getting fucking KFC to stop advertising on Hasan. That's political change. Somehow Hasan's pro-terrorism is still flying under the radar, and I think it's because the advertisers for Twitch have no idea. Get a load of this. This could very well cause a Twitch adpocalypse and threaten the livelihood of many small streamers. But it needs to happen.
He's dropping the nuke. It's a tactical nuke.
You know what, guys? This is the biggest decision anyone's had to make since Harry Truman sat in the Oval Office. What we have to do right now is, we're not just doing Hiroshima. It's going to be the Nagasaki follow-up that really gets the job done. I'm talking about Amazon is going to basically become or Twitch, excuse me, they're the same thing, really. They are going to become a Call of Duty only platform. It will be rah America only. You know, you can watch people play Forza, but not if they have a British accent. Okay, you have to sound like you are more of a NASCAR guy. They're going to go all American. Hoorah!
And then take a look,
one of the
guys.
sponsors here, Little Caesars, Dunkin'. Have you guys ever thought that Little Caesars actually might like the anti-Semitism? That they might double down after hearing about this?
Yeah, and so yeah, if you guys make sure to boycott these brands in your personal lives. No Little Caesars, no Dunkin' Donuts, no Kellogg's, no State Farm until they boycott Hasan. But no, I'm just kidding.
These are the same bitches that were cried about BDS, like by divest sanction from Israel. Like these, like they're doing the same exact bitch made shit. Like they're like, oh, like it's so bad when they're like boycotting like Starbucks and like boycotting McDonald's for sending the fucking IDF soldiers McDoubles while they fucking shoot fucking children. Like, like turns out what we're boycotting is actually a little more meaningful than who your favorite streamer is. Like,
all right, well, get a load out of this. Get a load out of this response from okay, so this guy says all you need is clips of Hasan saying unhinged shit, then a commercial break hitting. Send that clip to the advertiser. By the way, the original poster was correct. This is literally how the original adpocalypse began on YouTube. Assholes were sending videos of like white nationalists, spreading Nazi propaganda with a Pepsi commercial in front of it or whatever to Pepsi and being like, are you comfortable with your product being, it created a massive like existential threat for everyone who did this as a job. A very scary period of time. That was before Zach and I did this for a career, but
we still know about it. We still know the horror stories. I mean, Kyle Kalinske had to make a Patreon and do all this stuff. He made a ton of content about it back in the day. And if that happened again, people who are our size channel probably wouldn't be able to sustain it in the same way that we are able to sustain ourselves now. Gavin and I all would have to go become Trump supporters and become the weed smoking, boat inhabiting MAGA Republicans of the Florida Keys. And the only people who want that to happen are our parents who want us to retire one day. I'm kidding. Gavin's parents definitely do not want that to happen.
All right. Well, let's take a look. One sec. What was it?
I have a clip too, but
okay. This just one more comment. One more comment from the subreddit. Sorry, this is too good.
No, we got to get it. We got to get it. We got to get there. We got to see the tactical discords that are happening here.
This is someone is can you change the layout, Zach, so we can see the bottom of the screen, because I want to slow reveal this. All right, thank you.
Scroll. Sexy.
Someone with some sense says this is kind of crazy. Usually cancel threads get shut down pretty quick. I guess we're all at the end of our rope. So a sane person's like, hey, I get that we don't like Hasan here, but do we really have to actually try to cancel him, like in a very literal way? You get a load of this response. I
got a bad message for you, sir. I got a rug to pull for you, my friend, with Little Caesars.
Have you seen their little new cupcakes? They got the pepperonis in there. That's the spicy one too. That's that kind of Detroit innovation America's always talking about.
Why was my Caesar salad wrapped in a kafia?
Yeah, it's like, I'm sure Little Caesars is a totally unproblematic company, a great corporation that in no way has issues of its own.
Their slogan is, at least we're not Papa John's.
Yeah, I just feel still morally superior as I exit Little Caesars with my hot and ready $5 extra fucking pepperoni pizza. I also like Little Caesars, by the way. You will definitely catch me in a Little Caesars.
Yeah.
Sorry, Griffin.
You got that there was a scandal about Little Caesars, right? Because all of the Little Caesars in the Kansas City area got shut down for a brief period of time, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then they had to slowly start coming back as a result of people selling the pizzas for more than the $5 agreed upon price. Now I think inflation has finally finally rocked one of the foundational, one of the pillars of the diet of any, up and coming impoverished podcaster, which is the Pazoo.
I do love Little Caesars.
I'll eat that shit in the Crazy Bread.
I like Little Caesars more than Domino's, Papa John's, probably not Pizza Hut, but definitely those two. Either way, Griffin, take it away. What was the clip you wanted to show us?
So, I mean, there's been a lot still going on, like not just like from the Destiny subreddit people, but from like Destiny and his loser podcast co-host. I hope they watch this. You're a fucking loser, dude. There's this guy named Dan. He's like 60 years old, and he's like the co-host on like the weekend podcast they do. And he has made a big effort to like make a website that's like the Twitch CEO's name, called like DanClancySucks.com. I don't know if we can like pull that up or whatever.
DanClancySucks.com.
Is it in the DMs, Griffin?
Try typing that in. See what happens. See
Okay.
if these nerds probably got their fucking SEO right because they have no fucking lives. The thing is, like, he has been a special like loser on this because he's like he's been pro-Israel since like day one of this like conflict. Yeah, here we go. Here's his little website where they're doing compilations of everything and they're trying to like send it all to the CEO or whatever. It's all this stuff, but yeah, so they're claiming that Twitch like basically
Wait, what's the ethnic slur that he
let's do it.
Do you
Let's see
think
it.
the Israeli state was just like peacefully coexisting, and then these guys came in with fucking gliders out of nowhere? Don't say fuck off, dude. They didn't deserve it, you fucking idiot. My goal is solutions. Your goal is the continuation of violence. You want way more than 260 people dying. You want every single Palestinian to be fucking executed ruthlessly in the streets so that you can build another fucking theme park in Gaza.
This guy only said 3 things, none of which implied that.
You fucking baying pig. You fucking bloodthirsty, violent pig dog.
Wait a second.
Oh,
Oh my god. Thank you,
come
Wikipedia
on.
Brown. Thank you, Wikipedia.
Hassan calls everyone hogs and pigs. That's like his whole thing.
Yeah. I was
Oh my
wondering what they were
God.
gonna spin as an anti-Semitic slur that Hasan used, but I was like, what is he gonna say?
Just imagine you're trying to run a company and a 60-year-old man is like DMing you with these clips and being like, you gotta take this seriously. But like, so they've been going on this cancel tirade, and guess what? It hasn't worked. And I got a clip right here of that. Let me in.
Oh yeah, with I don't see your clip, Griffin.
I'm presenting. No?
Try it again, yeah.
All right.
If not, you can just shoot me the private link. It's no big deal. We'll throw it up.
Dude, the momentum was so sick. Here we go. Got it?
Do you think
Yep.
Twitch will provide an explanation, or do they just move on?
You get an audio?
I don't know. It feels like they've gotten away with not commenting or talking about literally any of this. They don't talk about any of this. It's been days now of like hundreds of thousands of liked and retweeted things from different communities on Twitter. And like Twitch is just completely and utterly silent. And also so is the entire media. Nobody is talking about it at all. Again, those Asmongold articles about the Palestinian genocide thing, that shit was written like hours. That shit was written hours after Asmongold said that. But nobody anywhere has said anything about this. It's actually wild.
Wow. I
Yeah.
wish that people would talk about this
Anti-Semitism
niche
by employees.
news article in the same way that they talk about salacious internet drama. Have we heard that before, Gavin?
We got a few more seconds here, I think. Let's see.
November 15th, 2023.
All right, now that's it. But yeah, so it hasn't worked, and I can see that he's like, you know, baffled that didn't work. He did everything right. He contacted all the sponsors. He engaged all of the divorced, absent fathers that watch his stream. Like, and it didn't work because ultimately, like, what's happened is, especially on a site like Twitch, that is really dominated by people that are like 35 and under. Like, the majority of people 35 and under think Israel is fucking monstrous, and what they've done is monstrous. Like,
Yeah.
even though Israel has won in terms of they are being allowed to commit this genocide, like, the people that are in these communities and on the internet largely like the people like Destiny have lost, no matter how many epic debates they've done, no matter how many people they've chewed out. Like, he has lost in terms of the information on this, because it is indisputable what's happening. The whole entire Gaza Strip is now unlivable. And you'll also notice that he doesn't do as many debates anymore about it either, because I largely think he doesn't have much to say about that. I mean, this motherfucker went to Israel and like shot a whole documentary. And I like, apparently he ended up like not releasing most of it because the fucking
because it
Israelis
doesn't
he
fit his
talked
fucking
to
narrative.
are
That-
fucking
that-
insane. And
That's
it's
why I
just
was
like,
making. Yeah, that's why I was making. And I have to unfortunately dip in like 3 minutes, guys, to go get my destroyed car. But
We'll be live when you get back on.
yeah,
stage,
I'll be back, obviously. But yeah, that's why I was jokingly saying that Destiny has to be CIA, because I just don't understand why he would keep affirming this position, which is so obviously wrong. He can't even debate anymore. And now he's just resorting to these insane tactics, trying to get people censored. It's like, as you pointed out, Griffin, Destiny's the guy who was having over Nick Fuentes, literally chatting with Nick Fuentes at his dining room table and shit, like having his wife bring them PB&Js. It's like,
oh my God, the PB&J scene, it was like a scene out of Challengers, okay? It was so fucking erotic. Right. Like Luca Guangadingo or whatever his name probably watched that stream and then wrote the fucking first draft to Challengers after fucking gooning to it. I'm sorry, but like you can't eat fried chicken with Nick Fuentes and then have your period about interviewing a Houthi and talking about One Piece. Like suck my entire fucking dick.
Yeah, and that Houthi kid that, by the way, apparently isn't even actually a Houthi and apparently isn't anti-Semitic.
Even if he is, who cares?
Right. Who cares? But you're also, again, and just to prove my freaking free speech warrior or whatever credibility,
be a warrior.
I defended Nick Fuentes or Destiny for having those conversations with Nick Fuentes. I was like, you know what? If anyone's actually going to save Nick Fuentes from going down this rabbit hole, and if anyone's going to prevent him from, completely just living his adult life as a Nazi, maybe Destiny can coax him out of this. Maybe he can show him like, there's a real world. There's cool people that are normal out there. Like, don't do this, bro. I thought it was actually a chance he could, bring Nick Fuentes to the normal world or whatever, to the light side, if you want to say. But now I'm like, I don't know, dude. You only are okay with talking to white nationalists, not kids from halfway across the world who are, maybe a little bit radicalized because they've seen so much genocide.
Right. It's because it's all based around wanting to fuck Hasan. Like Destiny just wants to fuck Hasan. And I'm sorry, but like that's the root of all this. It is a sexual obsession that he treats him like a ex. Like,
well,
I'm
actually,
sorry,
I condemn this homophobia on that note. I'll be back
no,
soon.
Yeah, so
you can leave. I'll finish. We all want to fuck Hasan.